Fought my competitive cousin's drama for years, she storms out after my dad's intervention, now she's disappeared. I, 18F, have always had weird drama with my cousin Casey, 23F. For some reason she's always had this bizarre obsession with being in competition with me, while loving my older sister, 24F, like she's God's favorite. No idea why, I gave up trying to figure it out years ago. For context, she lived with us from middle school up to now because of family issues, and even then she treated me like a punching bag. Called me a worthless puss, ugly, and tried to make me feel like nothing. And unfortunately, it worked for a while. I hid under baggy clothes, avoided people, and had zero confidence. Fast forward to junior high, I started finding myself. Made some friends, got a lil style, learned makeup from my sister, and got into my 90s baggy clothes but cute era. Casey hated every second of it, claimed I was copying her, she wore baggy hoodies and sweats with Crocs every day. It got worse when I got a boyfriend. He was 16, I was 15, and she deadass tried to steal him by telling him her body was better than mine and he would love seeing her up under her clothes. My mom had to intervene multiple times while my dad kept telling me to let it go. She's been through a lot. Spoiler alert, she's been through a lot her entire life according to everyone. I graduated high school early at 16 with honors and college credits. She hated it and called me a dumb prick who wouldn't get far. She didn't even come to my graduation. Meanwhile, she dropped out of college twice. Projection? I think yes. What made it worse was I found out I was pregnant in November, and Casey immediately started telling family I didn't know who the father was, that it could be multiple men, and even told my dad the father was over 31. Mind you, I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years at this point. When no one believed her messy ass, she tried to take the attention off of me and got pregnant herself. She admitted to this, but sadly she miscarried in February. We were all there for her. I even wore baggy clothes so she wouldn't feel triggered seeing my bump. Still, every time I had a craving or talked about my pregnancy, she made it about her. Would literally cry at the dinner table because it should have been her. Dramatic, right? Then when I announced my baby's name, she went and got a custom blanket made with the same name, her due date, and the day she miscarried, claiming I stole it. When the name was my mom's mother name who she has no relation to, she's my dad's niece. I kept the name also. Today's episode, we're planning my baby shower, talking about decorations and food, when she loudly scoffs from the living room. No one cares. We ignore her. We said the baby's name again. Here she go. A name you stole from me. I rolled my eyes cause why are you still on this? I'm showing my mom a pic of a custom car seat cover I ordered. She storms in with her own baby stuff she bought before the miscarriage, mumbling hopefully I don't steal her ideas. Like, I have most of her things already. I don't want your ideas? Once again I ignored her and my mom told her she loved them. Once she sees me not caring she then went full on explode mode, accuses me of copying her, being jealous, needing to heal before I bring a baby into this world, and randomly brings up the hormonal hygiene struggles I've been having lately. That she overheard me talking about like WTF? We left to the backyard where my sister was and this woman followed us out screaming. Saying we treat her worse than her own parents did. Big lie, my parents have babied her for years while she treated me like dirt. My dad eventually came upstairs from the basement because she was so loud, asked what was going on, and for once, instead of coddling her, he went off. He straight up said, Casey, for God's sake I love you but what is your problem? You pick fights constantly, you play victim, and you're not in middle school anymore. If you want to stay here, you need to get your act together. I can't keep doing this with you or you picking with a teenager who has done nothing to you. She was shell-shocked, stormed to her room, packed a bag, and left. Later, she texted me this. You've won. I can't fight you anymore. You've always ruined my life even when I was with my parents. You were always the favorite and I always hated you. You ruin everything for me. And now, I feel kinda bad. I didn't respond and no one's heard from her since. Update 1. I've been seeing a lot in the comments. Was she the youngest girl before me? Yes, she was the last girl born for 5 years before I came along. Our family is mostly boys with only a few girls here and there, so I do think that may have played a part in how she felt about me. About me being a teen mom, I turned 19 in a couple weeks. I've been independent since I was able to work at 15, and I even have my own small business that's slowly growing. I still live with my parents for now, but I handle my own life for the most part. Why didn't my parents get her into therapy? My mom has tried several times to convince my dad to get us all into therapy, but he's one of those people who doesn't believe in it. He's always told us to pray or write it down instead, which honestly did help me at times growing up, but she definitely needed professional help and still does. I've asked him recently to consider it, and he just rolled his eyes and ignored me. My parents' ages, my mom is 46 and my dad is 57. They've been married since 1998, so about 26 years now. What happened with her parents? Her dad was physically abusive to both her and her mom. Her mom helped her run away and sent her to live with us, while she stayed behind. We live on the East Coast, and they were all the way in Oakland, California. As for contact, no, we haven't spoken to them since they lost custody of her. Update 2. Casey ended up coming back about 2 days later drunk and higher than ever. It was around 1 a.m. I was asleep, but apparently my parents were still up watching a movie when she came in. My dad, who's a recovering alcoholic and has been sober since I was 14, was furious and disappointed. They tried to sit her down to talk, but she just cried and said she was tired and wanted to lay down. So they let her go upstairs. A little while later, my parents stepped outside to the back patio for a smoke break. Yes, both of them smoke occasionally. And of course, while they were outside and out of earshot, Casey came to my room. I woke up to her trying to open my door. Thankfully it was locked. She started whisper shouting for me to open it, calling me a puss and saying we needed to talk. When I told her to go away and that we could talk in the morning, she started banging on my door, kicking it, and was saying that I would never be prettier than her and that I was the ugly black sheep in the family. This again? Get help. I told her to go to bed again, but she wasn't done. She threatened me, saying if she saw me tonight it wouldn't be good for me. At that point, I started recording and sent a video to my dad. He came rushing back inside and went off. He told her she wasn't staying another night in his house and she needed to start packing ASAP, that coming home drunk and bullying me again was unacceptable, and she needed to figure out where she was going in the morning. She broke down crying again, claiming we were all she had and she just wanted to talk. My dad didn't budge this time. He told her the only person she needed to talk to was a therapist and until she got professional help, she wasn't welcome here. She was shocked, because like I've said before, my dad's always been old school and kind of coddled her. But not this time. My mom came inside mid-conversation, sat her down, and apparently had a heart-to-heart about how unacceptable it was for her to live in our home while treating me like garbage. I was watching the whole thing go down on the security cameras from my phone because yes, I'm that petty. But then my sister Monica starts texting me, taking Casey's side. It goes something like this. Monica, Amia, for once will you stop making it so hard with her? She only wanted to talk. Me, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm barely able to get out of bed, what do you expect me to do? I don't want to talk, Monica, I'm tired of you playing the victim like you're so innocent in this. Get over yourself. You're exhausting and it's getting harder to deal with. Me, what have I done, Monica? I've cooked for y'all, cleaned up after y'all, always tried to be nice, and neither of you do anything for me. If anything, you're exhausting. You're 24, you've got a degree, you won't even use it. Be real. Stop texting me goodnight. I cried. I always looked up to both of them, even after everything. But this was my breaking point, so here's where we're at now. Casey left the next morning to go stay with a friend. She's been texting and calling my parents, begging them to reconsider. But they're standing firm. If she wants to be part of this family, she needs therapy first, no exceptions. As for Monica, we haven't spoken since those texts. My mom noticed and asked what was going on, but I told her to ask her daughter because I had nothing to say. I've officially uninvited both Monica and Casey from my baby shower. Neither of them will be involved with my baby, and my mom said it's my decision. So no Aunt Monica. No Cousin Casey. My dad's standing firm too. No more excuses, no more drama. And me? I'm focusing on my pregnancy, my business, and reclaiming my peace. This is supposed to be a happy time for me, and I'm done letting them take that away. I deserve to be excited about this baby without guilt. Update 3. It started quietly, my phone blowing up with no caller ID in the middle of the night, 4 nights in a row. No voicemails, just that blank, persistent ring that put me on edge. On night 3, someone actually banged on the door and then ran. I was home alone, parents at work, both picked up extra shifts temporarily, because baby on the way costs, you know? And I'll be super real, I'm not as cool and calm as I make myself sound online. I slept clutching a giant ceramic cat lamp that night, pepper spray under my pillow. About 2 days later, Casey's best friend Aisha randomly texted me for the first time in 2 years. Hey. Just wanna say I'm sorry things got crazy. Casey's been staying here. She's not doing well, like at all. I texted back a boring okay. Thanks. Expecting that was it. She hit me with a bomb. Casey's got all your baby shower stuff. She stole the box off your porch. She's sorry but she's not bringing it back. At first, I thought she was just being messy. But when I actually checked my package tracking, guess what? It was marked delivered 2 days prior. Our usual mail carrier's an older lady and she swears she left it by the front steps. So now, Casey's officially a porch pirate, stealing all the decorations I saved my tips for, including the custom Amaria, my baby's name, not hers, onesie banner and half the favors, because I'd been planning a DIY event since the start. Honestly? Breaking down and buying a $9 pint of ice cream, that luxury, at 8 months pregnant, I was pissed, sad, and then, actually, sort of proud. Because baby Kermit, as I call my belly, kicked so hard I dropped my spoon, and it made me laugh cry for 5 minutes. Baby's already like, Ma, stop letting weirdos run things. So I did something that surprised even me. I posted in our neighborhood Facebook group, like, full suburban mom in training mode. I didn't put Casey's name, just, hey, some baby shower packages were taken. If anyone sees decorations dumped, please let me know. And thanks for watching out for a soon-to-be mom. Within 2 hours, my neighborhood's group chat, normally all crabgrass complaints and dog poop drama, was blowing up. Would you believe 2 different neighbors? 1, Mrs. Dorsey, who watches everyone with those deer cams, had security videos from their porches? There's Casey, big as life, orange Crocs and all. She's holding my box, smiling at someone off camera and then getting into an embarrassing little silver Honda with a missing taillight. But it didn't stop there. Next day, Monica shows up. She wants to talk it through. She brings 2 Starbucks drinks. I ignore her knocks until my mom gets home. Monica tells my mom she's worried about Casey, and can she please come to the shower, just to support family because that's what Nana would have wanted. I'll admit, seeing my sister get choked up about family made me almost cave. But before I could decide, Monica lets it slip she's just there because Casey called her bawling. And oh, by the way, Casey started telling people she's not allowed to come home because I'm destroying the family. That was it. My mom, who is normally the softest, absolutely lost it. She told Monica off in the driveway, loud and clear for the whole block, "You're making choices. I back Amaria." End of story. Monica stormed off, and later sent me a single text, "I'm sorry." That was it. No follow-up, no calls from then on. My mom and I sat down and finally had that honest "what now?" conversation that's been years overdue. She admitted, she'd been so afraid Monica and Casey wouldn't have anyone but each other if we didn't include them. She ignored what I needed. She saw how tired I was. She actually cried. But, because karma is apparently feeling spicy, 2 mornings later Aisha showed up on our porch with a garbage bag full of my baby shower stuff. Casey had relapsed, Aisha's words, fallen out with her friend group, and, in a fit, tried to burn my decorations in Aisha's fire pit. The irony? Most were made from that non-flammable vinyl and resisted all attempts. All it did was melt my welcome baby Amaria streamer into something like a Dadaist art piece, and she finally left a letter to me, too. Sloppy handwriting, but I could read it. Mostly it's more you win, I lose, I ruined her childhood, stole her family, some real soap opera stuff. But, there's a twist, she signed it, "I'm sorry. I hope you have a better life than I ever did. Don't name her after our grandma, she deserves a new start." If you're still reading, yes, I still plan on keeping the name. But the real update is, for the first time, my parents and I all agreed, my boundaries matter more than family image, so 0 invitations, 0 ambushes, and 0 drama in my baby's first days. Monica texted mom the day after all this. Apparently, she wants to apologize to me, but now I actually feel okay setting my own pace, for real. We're even floating an idea, family therapy, with just my mom and baby and me. My dad, shocker, said he'll think on it. That's probably the best I'll get. Oh, and the shower? My friends doubled down, brought homemade banners and cookies, plus our neighbor Mrs. Dorsey dropped off the world's ugliest hand-knit baby blanket, with tiny Crocs, for luck. It wasn't the party I pictured, but it was the happiest, safest one I could imagine. I feel lighter, bolder, and for the first time, like maybe the drama really isn't mine to fix. I just have to love my daughter, love myself, and keep moving, and honestly, that's the happiest ending I could have written for this saga. At least, for now. Update 4. So, just as I was getting used to my Casey-free home, and genuinely starting to sleep through the night again, the universe decided to test my newfound boundaries. A week after the baby shower, which was still so sweet and weird that I'm smiling every time I look at those hideous tiny Croc booties, our family's group chat pinged. We have one of those big group chats, with aunts, random cousins, one great uncle who can't type, and Monica lurking but mostly posting dog memes. This time, it was Monica, posting a cryptic, "Guys, has anyone heard from Casey? Aisha says she's gone and no one can reach her." 2 minutes later, an aunt pops in, "Check local," as if the police are googling drama queens in the neighborhood. I stayed quiet, figuring it was the latest play for sympathy, until an hour later, when Casey's mom somehow found my number. Now, let me explain, this woman is a ghost to me, basically a voice on a Christmas card envelope. But she called, sobbing, saying Casey had messaged her some wild, concerning stuff, rambling on about starting over. "Nobody wants me, so maybe I'll just go where I'm not a burden." I didn't want to freak out, but then Aisha DM'd me the same. Casey had left all her stuff at Aisha's, her phone was off, and she'd posted a dark, dramatic goodbye on her private Instagram, tagged "somewhere you can't reach me." Cue panic stations. My mom, usually the calm in every family hurricane, was pale and shaking. She was crying, my dad was pacing, and even Monica was blowing me up, swearing if I didn't unblock her for just tonight, I was punishing the whole family. Now, I know how Reddit works, don't make this about you. And trust me, I didn't want to, but it became clear that no one had any real plan for what to do, so I did what I do best, connected dots. One of the neighbors, Mrs. Dorsey, bless that woman's paranoia, mentioned she saw a silver Honda parked by the old railroad bridge out past our town last evening and recognized Casey's wild hair and Crocs. Suddenly, everyone's panicking that maybe Casey really was going to do something desperate. I texted Aisha, and she pinged Casey nonstop, finally getting a message back, a weird, blurry photo of the bridge and a cryptic "I'm sorry. I'll leave you all alone. Take care of the baby." I'm not a crier, but that rattled me. The idea that my cousin, the one who spent most of her life trying to make mine hell, might actually hurt herself? I couldn't sit still. So of course, my mom, Aisha, and I piled into my car and headed out. My dad called the police, which I'm sure mortified Casey if she ever finds out, and Monica promised to keep Casey's mom updated. I half expected this to be some theatrical play for attention, but I'll admit, my heart was in my throat the whole time. When we got there, we found her sitting on the hood of her junky little Honda, staring at the river, looking completely spent. A pack of cigarettes next to her, one burning out between her fingers. She looked up, saw us, and burst into ugly, hiccuping sobs. I won't give the minute-by-minute play-by-play. But it all came out. She'd been couch surfing, spiraling, felt like the family villain, genuinely believed she was broken. She admitted to thinking about disappearing for good, but seeing us show up pushed something in her. She said, "For once, I realized I wanted somebody to look for me." My mom, who gives the best awkward mom hugs, wrapped her up and just let her cry. I stood a few feet back, watching. I didn't hate her in that moment, I just hurt for her, and maybe for all the mess we've both had to sit in for years. We spent an hour talking there. No big resolutions, but for the first time, Casey agreed, voluntarily, to check herself into a local inpatient mental health program that Aisha knew about. She even hugged my mom before leaving in the ambulance, the one the police had called, just in case. My dad, who'd driven separate and spent the whole time muttering about family curses, finally apologized to me on the drive home for ignoring all the warning signs. He says he doesn't know what he believes about therapy, but maybe you girls know better than I do. Which, for a 57-year-old ex-military dad, is basically a TED Talk. Monica called me the next day, voice wrecked from crying. She didn't really apologize, just told me she missed me and wanted to start over for real. I decided, with my mom and therapists' help, to keep things at my pace. She can visit once the baby comes, but only with my mom present, and only if she keeps the drama low. As of writing this, Casey's been inpatient 2 weeks. She sent me a letter, just for me, not for the family chat. She said she was getting help, that she was sorry for trying to ruin my life instead of building her own, and that she maybe loved my baby more than she'll ever be able to show. She said, "Thank you for not giving up on her, even when she made it so hard." And, wildest of all, she attached a hand-drawn Welcome Home Amaria card, with a chubby little baby wearing Crocs and holding a rubber duck. So now? Our family group chat is full of support memes and ugly Croc jokes. Mrs. Dorsey knits me weekly. The baby room is almost done, my business is picking up steam, and for the first time, I really believe this cycle might finally be breaking. I know not everything is magically fixed. Casey's got a long road ahead, and my boundaries are now non-negotiable. My baby, my peace, period. But if all this started with people tearing each other down, maybe it's ending with something finally being rebuilt, slow, awkward, but real. Update 5. So, I wish I could tell you life went from tempest to tea parties, but you already know my luck. If you'd told me 2 months ago I'd be writing another update, I'd call you psychic and tell you to put down roots at the nearest carnival. But here we are, and yes, things did get crazier, realer, and, if you can believe it, a little bit brighter. The biggest news, baby Amaria is here. She arrived 1 week early, after a dramatic false labor midnight ER run, thank you, Braxton Hicks, multiple grilled cheese sandwiches consumed in the waiting room, and my dad attempting to argue with the nurse about which brand of diapers I'd ordered for safety. When the real moment hit, it hit hard and fast. I had just put the groceries away when my water broke all over the newly refinished kitchen floors. My mom's only words, "At least it wasn't the carpet, thank you Lord." Amaria came into this world in a hospital room filled with sunlight, laughter, and only the right people. My parents, my best friend Liv, and a L&D nurse with pink hair who made matching pigtails for Amaria's first hat. Labor was wild, I will spare you the details, but the highlight was my dad cursing out my playlist. "If you play any more of that 90s R&B, I'm leaving the country," and my mom telling every staff member within radius the baby's name and her origin story 5 times. Amaria was tiny, strong, loud, and immediately squinty-eyed, like she was sizing up the world. I cried, like, the ugly, snotty, relief joy kind of crying. My first night as a mom? Honestly terrifying. Every creak made my heart lurch, but the nurses and my mom just hovered, quiet, gentle, and no drama. No texts from Monica, no mystery calls, nothing from Casey or her orbit. For the first time, it was all about me and this new, impossibly small life cradled in my arms. Coming home was surreal. My neighborhood absolutely outdid themselves. Mrs. Dorsey had crocheted a truly horrifying, but somehow cute, baby mobile of animals all wearing Crocs, and Liv hung a Welcome Home Queen Amaria sign over the whole porch. My dad had actually cleaned the entire house. I think he mopped to exorcise drama at this point, and someone, probably Monica, dropped off a casserole on the stoop and ran. And then, 3 days after coming home, I got a letter from Casey's inpatient program, this time not just a note but a real, heavy envelope. Inside? A steady, weirdly matter-of-fact apology. An explanation, not an excuse, not the old "you ruined my life," but her unraveling of her own stuff. How she'd started, finally, telling the truth in group therapy, about being jealous, about feeling invisible, about old family patterns. She wrote one thing that stuck so hard it nearly brought me to my knees. I thought I was supposed to get the love first. I didn't realize there's enough for all of us if we just stop fighting over scraps. She closed with, I know I'm not ready, and you don't ever have to let me be Aunt Casey, but I'll never stop wanting to be better. For you, for Amaria, and for me. The effect was weird. Some days I felt nothing but exhaustion, hello, newborn fog, goodbye, sleep, but in the quiet moments, like 2:30 a.m. feedings, I found myself, hoping? Could things be different? Could we all heal, even if it's messy, slow, and never looks the way we wanted? Then Monica reached out, inching her way back in with cautious texts. How's Amaria? Can I drop off diapers? No pressure. She starts sending little video messages, silly, awkward, but heartfelt. My mom tells me Monica's in counseling now, too, and for the first time she apologized for letting old family patterns turn small rifts into yawning chasms. I still kept my boundaries tight, visits only if I felt up for it, and always with my mom or live around. No talk of Casey unless I started the convo. It actually worked, no guilt, no drama, just a cautious sort of peacemaking. And then, the most bananas thing yet. Local child and family services called my mom and dad. Someone, still don't know who, my guess is an old family friend who lurks on Facebook, made an anonymous report about family conflict affecting the baby. I can't lie, for 2 days I was sick with dread, rehashing every moment of drama. What if standing my ground had consequences for Amaria? But after a home visit, which honestly just consisted of a social worker cooing over the baby, looking around at my wall of diapers, and complimenting our ugly little Croc mobile, they reassured us. There were no concerns, and, get this, even pointed us to a free new mom's community therapy group. I signed up right away. And after the worker left, my mom shut the door, exhaled, and said, no one's ever tearing up this family again, okay? We get help, we get better, we move on. That group was a lifeline, full of so many moms balancing boundaries, toxic kin, anxieties. For the first time, I wasn't the only one saying no to family I loved but couldn't allow in. I met a couple other young moms who'd been through the nasty cousin drama mill. What are the odds? And I realized my story isn't as rare as I thought. Each session, I felt the old weight shed a little more. Sometimes Liv would watch Amaria just so I could go, and every week Liv showed up with a new snack to celebrate how far you've come, like a cheesy Hallmark movie with cuss words. Meanwhile, Casey worked through her treatment, and after 6 weeks, she was released to a transitional housing program with outpatient therapy. She texted just once, thank you. Really? I'm good. Give her a kiss for me. If you're ever okay with a visit, even just in a year, I'll be here. Monica, too, is proving herself a little each week. Slow. Cautious. There are set rules, and I'm not letting the past get rewritten. But I'm letting the possibility linger, and that feels, well, like growth. Now, as I watch Amaria squeeze that monstrous crocheted flamingo and blow spit bubbles at the world, it almost feels like the real new era has started. The drama isn't gone, but the power it held over us is broken, like a fever cooling. My parents walk on eggshells a little less, my friends hang out at our place again, baby snuggles for everyone, and my business has started booming. Turns out, the same neighbors who watched out for us want all sorts of custom baby stuff now. I know this isn't the story I ever would have dreamed, growing up at war with my own sister and cousin, being the bad guy, for protecting myself. But sitting here, holding Amaria at 3 a.m. with those chubby little feet covered in yarn Crocs, I finally get that happy isn't perfect. Sometimes it's just, safe, soft, and yours. And if Casey ever really does turn it around? I'm rooting for her, from a healthy distance, baby-proofed and drama-free, with Mrs. Dorsey's weekly knitted oddities cheering us on. Update 6. First, the week after Casey texted the careful thank you and Monica started dropping off diapers so regularly I think Target called about suspicious bulk purchases, things felt nearly normal. Baby Amaria was learning to focus her eyes, my nights were a blur of half-remembered feedings, and my most satisfying accomplishment was remembering to both brush my teeth and eat lunch on the same day. I was sure we'd reached a plateau of peace. But then, family, never content to remain in the background, decided to test every boundary I'd set. It started with a knock, not the postman, not friends dropping by to gab over baby scent and coffee, but a relative we hadn't seen in almost 10 years, Great Uncle Walt. Picture a bear in suspenders with the world's bushiest eyebrows and a voice like someone gargling gravel. Walt just happened to be in the city, he lives 4 states away, and wanted to meet the new little miracle and break bread as a family. My dad, against every fiber of his grisly heart, was thrilled to see his uncle. My mom and I, less so. Turns out, Walt's real reason for showing up wasn't a heartwarming homecoming, it was Casey. He had talked to her on the phone, heard her in tears, and apparently decided the drama was all a misunderstanding that could be solved if everyone sat at his famous Sunday pot roast. He wanted to broker a full-scale peace summit, 1970s big family style. I was still in sweatpants decorated with dried spit up, holding a baby with one hand and a bottle with the other, staring at this mountain of a man, declaring, family doesn't stay mad, sugar, we fix it. You're not the stubborn one, are ya? Cue my mom, stepping in with mama bear eyes. We're taking things slow these days, Walt. Amaria's schedule comes first. I will worship her till the end of time for that single sentence. Still, word spreads fast in my family, especially when there's a whiff of reconciliation. My phone started pinging, not just with Monica's "Can I bring soup?" but cousins from Oakland, an uncle from Queens suddenly inviting himself for photos with the baby. Even Casey's mom texted my mom, "Do you think we could video chat for just, please, 5 minutes? I just want to see her face." Here's where things went from awkward but manageable to holy crap, maybe I need a witness protection program. One rainy Thursday night, Monica called, not texted, but called, for the first time in months. She sounded odd, breathless and shaky. "Mia, I'm coming over, but I need to warn you, Casey ran away from her program and came to see me. She's here, she's sober, she's not making threats, but she begged me to bring her to you. She wants to apologize, in person, with mom there." I could hear Casey's voice in the background, lower than I remembered, desperate but not unhinged. My first instinct was no. My therapist's voice whispered, "Boundaries." But then I looked at Amaria, asleep with her ridiculous crocheted crocodile, and felt something shift. Amaria's birth had shined a hard, bright light on every mess, but it also made me realize I wasn't the same girl Casey tormented. I wasn't the ugly duckling in baggy sweatshirts anymore. I was a mom, a business owner, someone with enough guts to turn away anyone, even family, if it meant her baby would grow in light, not chaos. So I did the scariest, bravest thing I could. I said yes, but on my terms. Mom present. No Monica's boyfriend, no extra family. If anyone raised their voice, visits over, no second chances. They arrived in the rain. Casey stood there, hair slicked down, no makeup, borrowed clothes, older somehow but also smaller. She could barely look at me. My mom served tea, because my mom will always make tea in a crisis, and we sat, awkward and quiet, in the living room. Casey started, "I don't need forgiveness, but I want to tell you the truth. Not excuses." She spoke, not performative, not pitiful, about realizing the web of rivalry was her inheritance, but also her responsibility to untangle. How therapy had made her see that grief and jealousy can dig holes deep enough to drown. She apologized to me and my mom, for every word, every lie, every time she tried to steal light from us. She knelt down, actually knelt, and whispered, "I don't want to be anyone's storm cloud ever again. If I can't be a good cousin, I'll settle for not being a curse. And, if you ever change your mind, I'll be waiting." At first, I couldn't speak. Monica was sniffing, mom squeezing my knee, Amaria oblivious, gurgling at her favorite mobile. Finally I just said, "Thank you. But we need, to keep things safe. For Amaria, that means distance for now. I hope, honestly, you keep healing. The rest is up to you." Casey nodded, this time not fighting, not crying. Before she left, she peeled a tiny plush duck from her backpack, like, from a thrift store or something, not even new, placed it by Amaria's crib, and left. Monica hugged me, for real. Absolute silence after they walked out, only the soft thwack of the front door closing. I didn't cry. I did shake for an hour, equal parts relief, grief, and something like hope. My mom held me and said, "You did what my generation never dared, Mia. You stood for yourself." Afterward, word reached Great Uncle Walt, and for the first time in family history, he backed off. He sent a text, "Proud of you, sugar." Grown folks need real fences sometimes. Even Casey's mom, in a rare lucid moment, wrote, "Thank you for hearing her." Since then, Casey's committed to staying in the outpatient program, and Monica and I, slowly, are rebuilding trust. She visits once a week for sister brunch, always bringing Amaria something homemade and always checking in with me first. No surprise pop-ups, no guilt, no let's forget the past speeches. And me? I got a call from the new mom support group leader, asking if I'd consider hosting a session, on boundaries, on healing, on when families break and reknit. It's wild, thinking how small I once felt, and how much bigger my voice, and will to protect my peace, is now. Business is thriving. Amaria is healthy, happy, and learning to giggle. We spend Saturday mornings on the porch. Every now and then, Mrs. Dorsey brings over a new knitted horror. Last week it was a toadstool wearing Crocs. The world, at last, feels a little gentler. Casey? I hope she finds her own porch, her own peace. Maybe one day, when her heart's as stitched up and sturdy as my baby's blanket, she'll sit beside us and we'll talk, not about past wounds, but about all the weird ways a family can hurt and heal. But only if she hears my yes, not just what she wants.